So, just what are you afraid of? Um, what stops you in your tracks? What is it that when you come face to face with it, you blink, you turn, you shy away, you make excuses, you blush and stammer, you know you shouldn't, but you do. Yet something inside, deep inside you says, this fear isn't real. But at first you don't hear that voice too well. But as you begin to train your ear to it, it becomes much more vivid and recognizable. That's faith talking. That's the positive measure of your being that God says we've all been given. And we've been given it. Some of us have learned to tap into that gift, and to use it to promote ourselves and our missions in life. And we've leaped off of cliffs, soared over the ocean, but not really knowing why we could, but simply trusting that the voice of faith was there to lead us and lead us forward. Others choose to ignore that voice when it speaks out in opposition to the fears in our mind. And we've built such strong walls around the things that we think are true that we exclude any thoughts or ideas that require us to stretch and move from our comfortable places. It's just the way we are. We run and we shore up all those fortresses of thinking that we've embraced, that have embraced those fears, and we try to convince ourselves that they're the real thing, and that hope we have echoing through our subconscious mind is merely just that, a hope that we have no right to place any trust in. Then somehow, if we ever get to the place where we allow ourselves to get out of the way, and just enough, a ray of wisdom will slice through our brains, and we see the light. We understand that the chains that have been holding us, and we've actually allowed them to hold us, are really made out of paper. Their substance and their reality is light and lifeless. And we see that our future has greater possibilities than simply settling for the things that we've become accustomed to in the past. I saw a poster in the hallway of our local high school the other day and said this: "Don't judge me by my past. I don't live there anymore." And that is exactly what we have to tell our minds when we are tempted to fall back into thought patterns that keep us from moving forward on a daily basis. Think of it this way. If we are satisfied to be where we are and know the things that we know today and no more, then we might as well flick it in, give up the ghost. I mean, if we're not willing to learn new things and move on into the future, learning new things every day, then we're saying to ourselves that all of those and everybody around us that we've arrived. We've reached the ultimate limit and goal of our existence. Anybody out there really believe that at any time? But in order to keep moving forward, to leave behind the things that we've built up around us to keep us safe within our own thinking, we have to exercise faith. Faith that there is something better out there in front of us. I once heard said that the real crux of a midlife crisis is when a person stops looking forward and starts looking behind. To continue moving forward takes faith, great amounts of faith. But I've found that faith, the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen, is the assurance, the confirmation, the title deed of the things we hope for, being the proof of things we do not see, and the conviction of their reality, perceiving as fact what is not revealed to the senses. Faith is also the polar opposite of fear. Fear grips us and places us in our minds, it puts into the anticipation of negative or hurtful outcome that's going to befall us. But faith grasps a whole new vision of something that is yet to be discovered and plants a vision of that positive outcome within us and empowers us to move forward into the reality of it before we could ever truly know that it would be there. So, what are you really afraid of? Could exercising faith help you eliminate that fear? I think so. I think it's the only thing that can. Nelson Mandela said that, he said it this way, he said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." John Wayne said it another way. He said, "Courage is being scared to death and saddling up anyway." So there's two ways of looking at it there. When we saddle up and face those fears, that is when the mountains are moved in our lives. That's when progress is made and success is achieved. What fears are you going to come to face this coming year? Which ones are you going to evict from their squatter's place in your mind and tell them they're no longer welcome? Let faith help you. You've been given the gift of faith for just such a time. Use it and see what new vistas open up for you. Thanks for listening tonight. I hope this has helped you. This is Steve Garrett saying peace, grace, and peace.